Okay, in the last video, we spoke about how to create an assessment on the portal. Now, we created task one under module two, and as you can see, it's right there. I'm not going to go through even the summary. If you want to watch how to create this to get to this part, you can watch the previous video. But on that point, then you can see now we have the assessment itself, but we don't have any questions in the assessment. So to add the questions, there are two ways to go to where I'm getting to. The first way is to click on Edit Quiz at the bottom, or to click on the gear here and just click on Edit Quiz. Right. I'm just going to go the shortcut route. Okay, now to add a question, you will see here under shuffle on the right hand side there is add. Then you can click on new question or from question bank. Now the question bank, if it is a course that has had previous assessments, meaning you have created previous tasks or quizzes within this specific let's come in within this specific course, then you will see all those questions here. Luckily for me, I do have some questions that I created, so I can click on them. I can add them to the quiz. um, but you can also click and add a new question. Then you can select the type of question. There are questions that automatically mark themselves, and there are questions that don't. All right. That need a lecturer or a student assessor to go to the quiz itself and give the student a specific mark for that question, depending on what they answered. So for today, I'm just going to go for the simple ones or the ones that mark themselves. We'll go for multiple choice, add the question. Now, question name is a what we'll call, it has to be a unique type of question. So if, for example, we are on quiz atoms, and we are asking them what or questions on atoms, we have to be specific on this question type or this specific question and say, for example, you can name it however. I have my specific naming conventions, which is the camel case in programming, they call it that, but I will call it atom. And what can we say? Composition. All right. So that when I'm adding from a question bank, I can see a brief, the smallest summary of what the question is actually about. Now, if I have multiple questions on, for example, atom composition, I can even create a longer question name so that I can have an idea of what the question was actually about. For example, we'll say atom composition, um, nucleus. I don't play nucleus. I probably did misspell that, but it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Then we'll say what is what are the elements within the nucleus. I keep no no help at all. I guess maybe I spelled that right. Maybe I didn't. It doesn't really matter. All right. Then that is the actual question. You can now, the nice thing about this Moodle assessments is that you can add images. You can change the format of the text. You can even add a video if you want to. I'm not going to add any of those for now. It doesn't really enhance my specific question, but you can. How you add a question, you can either add it from the internet, or you can browse repository and you can upload your own image, for example, and then save it, and then it will show up here. So for now, it's fine. General feedback is whether the student got the answer right or wrong. What they will see as their feedback. So you can explain what that, in my case, the elements of the nucleus. You can explain what is the actual nucleus, what is within the nucleus, so that it's a learning opportunity as well. ID number is not important. One or multiple answers. Here you will say whether the answer has, or the options, they can choose one or multiple. In my case, I have multiple answers, so yes. Number of choices. Number the choices, meaning whether they will see A, B, C as the options, or 1, 2, 3, or the Greek numbering, Roman, the Roman numbering. Okay, yeah, it's fine. All right, so then we can come to the answers and say, okay, I generally I always start with the correct answers, and we'll see how we can shuffle these in a minute. But normally I start with the correct answers so that they can it's easier for me to set the assessment. So we'll say proton, and this is 50% correct, and the neutron, oh, neutron, and this is also 50% correct. Why I'm saying 50-50 is that because they have to give a multiple selections in these answers. If they mark one correct, they only get 50% of the marks. If they mark none correct, they get 0% of the marks. If they mark both correct, then they will get the total mark for that specific question. Then we can say electron, um, that because it's wrong, it will give them none. And then the last one will be bison, which is a nice name. All right, so you can add multiple if you want to. I'm just going to add 4 because that's generally the number of choices that students have in assessments, but you can add more. Maybe I can add the last one as say piston. All right. Um, within these questions, within these answers, you can add feedback as well. Maybe I will say the proton is the positive electron. Okay, oh, not positive electron, positive uh, the positive thing. Anyway, so yeah, then once we're done, then I can say save changes. Save changes, it will take me back to the assignment or to the test, to the assessment, to all the questions. Then we can see now I have 3 answers or 3 questions for the students to answer. Oh, I can actually edit this one. Yeah, no, it's one more. All right, edit this one. Now, you will see that this one, atom description, is actually a what we'll call a long question, where the student needs to actually type something. Generally, not a lot of formal assessments, or yeah, not a lot of formal assessments will have this because it's not automatically marked, and you will see when the student takes the assessment or dummy assessment how the questions are answered. Now, okay, maybe we can come back here actually to this one. Remember when I started, I said I normally start with the former or with the correct answers or answer in some cases, and then I will give the fake answers to when setting those questions. This part here, just below the general feedback, there is this shuffle the choices. Shuffle the choices is generally automatically ticked but not always. So sometimes you may have to click it just to make sure that it's on. And this will shuffle the answer choices, the answer options that the students will have when taking the assessment. All right. I'm just going to go back there. Now our questions will, we have only 3 questions. This is out of 5, so it's fine. Then what I can also do is click on this part, which is to shuffle the actual questions themselves. Meaning, if there are 2 students that are sitting next to each other, their question 1 won't be the same as their question, or their question 1 won't be the same between the 2 students. One of them may start with this one of them may start with this one. Yeah. So that allows us to shuffle the questions. You don't have to do this, because sometimes your questions might be based on the easiest questions first and then the, the hardest one after. So yeah, and that is how you create the assessment and make sure that it's shuffled. Maybe we can actually uh, take the assessment as our closing. How long have we been going? 10 minutes? Yeah, okay, let's quickly take the assessment. Uh, oh, it's open only next week. Ah, all right, it's fine. We'll take the assessment in the next video.